Good morning, happy Sunday and welcome back to my channel. I'm Debbie from Debbie's World. It feels like a while since I've done a recipe, so I thought I'd jump on while Andrew's at work and cook something for my lunch. Have a few servings to put in the freezer as well for future lunches. So the recipe I've chosen is from the Slimming World 50 Golden Greats book, and it's on page 60 and it's the Falafel with Harissa yoghurt. So what it says about this recipe is, these Mediterranean chickpea bites are seriously filling and a dunk in our spiced yoghurt dip makes them out of this world. It serves 4 if you can make 24 out of the mixture, 2.5 sins per serving, vegetarian, I think that's V for vegetarian, not vegan, and ready in 30 minutes. Let's just have a look, see if we can see. Doesn't tell me what the symbols mean. Suitable for vegetarians, yes. So you need to preheat your oven to 220 degrees or fan 200 or gas mark 7. And what you'll need for this recipe is some kind of food processor or hand blender, a medium onion, 4 garlic cloves. I've just got some lazy garlic, half a small pack of fresh parsley. Again, I had some dried parsley, so that's what I'm going to use. 2 times 400 grams of chickpeas, drained, rinsed and dried. So I've just got Morrison's own version. 4 teaspoons of ground coriander, oh, and I haven't got this one out. 4 teaspoons of ground cumin, so cumin and coriander. 4 level tablespoons of chickpea gram flour. As you know, I did buy some for another recipe very similar to this to make falafels, so I already have some, or you can use plain flour. And that will be part of the sins, and so will this, which is 2 level teaspoons of baking powder, low calorie cooking spray, and then if you wanted to make their salad which goes with it, you would have soft lettuce, cherry tomatoes and red onion. And then I'll show you how to make the Harissa yoghurt and what we need for it later on down the line. So I'll get my cumin out and find out what the next steps are. So I have my food processor here and I've got my onion which I've just roughly chopped. And I'm going to add in with that 4 teaspoons of lazy garlic, as it says 4 cloves. That's my garlic. And then it says half a small pack of fresh parsley. So I'm going to put a really good serving of a really good generous splash of parsley in there. And then I'm going to whiz that up until the onion is roughly chopped. Then I've got my 2 tins of drained and rinsed chickpeas. And I'm going to pulse this again. Until we've got a paste. I've got a large mixing bowl here and I've got my paste. I hope you can see the consistency. I move it around a little, you can see it is forming a paste. So I'm going to add this into the bowl and then add the rest of the ingredients. Right, so I'm now going to add my spices and my flour. So I need 4 teaspoons of ground cumin, I'll do. Not quite 4, but I want to save some in case I have another recipe. Then 4 teaspoons of ground coriander, That'll do because they were quite generous teaspoons. 2 level teaspoons of baking powder. You do have to be a bit more careful with this because this is a sinned ingredient. So we will level those out. And also if you put too much in, you will be able to taste it, the baking powder. And then we want 4 level tablespoons of gram flour or plain flour. I did just get this in Morrison's, so if you wanted to treat yourself to some, it's quite easy to get hold of. There we go, so that's, and this is a dessert spoon as well, not a tablespoon, so I can afford to be a bit generous with it. Oh, and we need, I'm going to add anyway, it says 3/4 of a tablespoon of salt. I'm just going to add a generous sea salt, and I'm going to add some pepper as well, a bit more salt. And then I'm going to give that a really good stir. And that is taking on all the flour beautifully. So here's my mix. You can see it's really firmed up, it's taken in all the flour, and we need to start making the patties. So I've got a baking tray in the oven sprayed with fry light, and I'm preheating the oven, and it says we need to try and make 24 patties, to make them 2.5 sins for 6 patties. I think that also includes the harissa paste, which is sinned, which we'll add to make a yoghurt dip. So we need to scoop up about 2 tablespoons of the falafel mixture and shape it into a small patty. So we've got that, and we'll see how many I make doing it like that. Right, so I've got my 24 falafel. I don't quite know what the recipe's talking about when it says 2 tablespoons of mixture. It's more like 2 teaspoons if you want to make 24. Otherwise you'd have to rework the sins out. But if you want to try and work out the sins for the whole mixture and make bigger patties, then do so. But I'm just going to spray each one with fry light. And I'm going to pop them in the oven for 6 minutes. So I've just turned over all my falafels and they're doing well. And what you do once you cook them for 6 minutes, turn them and put them in for another 6 minutes. So that's what I've just done. And now I'm going to make my harissa dip. So this is Morrison's Rosé Harissa paste. I found it in the seasoning and spice aisle with all the lazy garlic and the curry powder and things like that. I've just had a little fingerful and I don't know whether I'm quite keen on it. But we'll see what it's like in the yoghurt. It's very spicy. It's described as a spicy paste with red pepper, chilli and rose petals. And it is generally quite low sin. Harissa spices, which you could use instead, are free. But usually it's half a sin for a level teaspoon. And I'm actually, the directions for the yoghurt are of course to serve 4. But I'm going to make just enough for this portion. So I'll show you what I'm going to do to make the yoghurt dip. So the recipe says 200 grams of fat-free natural Greek yoghurt. I've just got fat-free natural Greek style yoghurt. And I'm going to do about 50 grams. That'll do. So 50 grams of yoghurt. Get another teaspoon, and then going to add, it says grated zest of half a small unwaxed lemon. I've just got some lemon juice. So I'm going to add about a teaspoon of that. I'm going to add some salt, and I thought I had got my pepper out, but anyway. And then I'm going to add, what it says is 1 level tablespoon of harissa paste. So I'm just going to add half a teaspoon. I think that'll be enough. And I'm also going to add some sweetener just to sweeten it up a little bit. So I'll add that, and I'll also add some pepper and give it all a mix. Here are the finished falafels. I actually did them for another 5 minutes after the initial 12, and they've actually been cooling for quite a while on the side while I've prepped my salad and what I'm going to have with it. And I'll wrap these up and put them in the freezer, and then I'll show you what I'm going to eat, how I'm going to serve them for my lunch. Here we are then. I finally get to eat my lunch, and it's the falafel with harissa yoghurt from the Slimming World 50 Golden Greats book, page 60. I've got my 6 falafels on a bed of salad, which is green leaves, tomatoes, cucumber, red onion, tomato and pepper. And then I've got my harissa yoghurt dip. It does cool it down, adding the yoghurt to it, and adding that little bit of sweetener just gives it a bit of a sweeter taste. So that is 2.5 sins per serving, and I shall let you know, come back and let you know what it's like. Well, good evening. It's later on now. Actually, it's approaching evening meal time, but I'm not on to talk about that. I'm on to talk about my opinion on the falafels. Really, really nice. Not too spicy in my opinion. In fact, I could have probably added a bit more spice. But the harissa yoghurt makes it more spicy. But I really, really enjoyed it, and I found it really filling. So let me know if you make it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.